Haven't done this in a while.
All right. Ed Carbajal here with fearless Monica Franco of Invicta FC. Monica, I'm so happy. I'm so happy to get to talk to you. Jillian DeCourcy, Lionheart Jill, has been hyping you up to me for months.
Oh
Um,
man.
so it's funny because right around when she was trying to like actually she because I meant to interview you for the fight that you were supposed to have that you had to cancel when you got sick, and
Mhm.
she was kind of like trying to get that going, and then that happened, and I was just like, oh, okay, then we'll just wait and for her to fight that thing off. But
Yeah.
but how was that whole experience, by the way? I mean, if you don't mind walking us through, I know it was quite the battle.
Yeah, I mean, I'm quite surprised at how sick I got, to be honest. Because
Mm.
I remember when my first Invicta fight, and then I flew home. I had caught the flu, and that took me about a week. Nothing too crazy.
Mm.
This one was like the flu on steroids, I would say.
Wow.
Um, I had really severe body ache, super like muscle fatigue, dizziness. I think I collapsed once.
Wow.
I was coughing out blood at one point, but I think that was just from like the constant coughing that I was doing. I didn't have any like super deep respiratory issues or anything. Like I was just like regular cough, spitting out stuff, but I could still breathe. Um, I was a little bit nauseated. I lost my sense of taste and smell. I still don't have that back of 100%. Like I can smell things here and there, and I can taste things more than I could, but I lost all of that too. So it
Oh
was,
wow.
was probably the worst I ever got as far as being sick on the flu, or I mean COVID.
Mm.
So yeah.
Wow.
I mean, other people got it worse though. Some of my cousins got hit real, real hard. Like, just I didn't have like a fever or anything. I felt like if anything, I was on the verge of hitting a fever. I never did that. So,
Mm.
um, yeah, it just makes you grateful that when you get out of it, it just I don't know. It's just like just grateful to know that you have another day to like just
Yeah.
achieve the things that you want to. There's so many people haven't had that opportunity, unfortunately. So I just feel
Yeah.
very blessed.
Yeah, no, and I'm glad you're. I mean, I'm happy to hear that you're coming out of it too. And I mean, enough of the negative stuff. Let's talk about because
Yeah, no worries.
you're it seems like it's funny because I know when I've had surgery or injuries or when I've gotten sick, when I was younger anyway. I'm an old man now,
Mm,
but back then, like when you're getting out of something like that, that competitive spirit inside you, the martial artist in you, you kind of have to argue. You have that battle with yourself of like, let me not jump back in too soon because I'm just
right,
because I'm feeling a little bit better. Um,
right.
and the question I'm leading to, I have it in my notes here because you and I set this up, you tweeted something about any potential opponent you like to compete with. Jillian
Mm.
wanted me to ask you that too. She mentioned it because you had tweeted something about because you're so ready to get back in there. Is there somebody that you were trying to call out or a fight that you specifically want?
Well, not necessarily call out, but I mean, I wanted Serena de Jesus. I just kind of thought, well, since she's the one who replaced me, like,
Hmm.
fight the winner, of that match, and she happened to be the matchup. But I don't know where she's at with wanting to fight me, but fortunately, Haley Cowan, she just like DM'd me a couple of nights ago and was just like, and she posted it on her IG too, like just like, hey, at Fearless Monica Franco and at somebody else, but I don't know who it was, but she was just saying like, I hear you guys are looking for a fight, blah blah blah. And I know my previous opponent, Tina, had actually tagged me and her, I guess, on a post that Invicta had done, like, who should we see next in the cage kind of a thing. So
Mm-hmm.
a couple of people posted me and Serena, and then Tina posted me and Haiti. And I was just like, I mean, why not? I think it'd be a great matchup. I think our styles would make for a really good fight.
Yeah,
Um,
I
she
agree.
seems like a gamer. I'm a gamer. And I mean, it's all about fighting the best of the best. If you want to be the best, you gotta like, you know, go up against some of the best. And I think it would be a good matchup. I think I think that people would tune in for that.
Yeah, no, definitely. I mean, it's funny that that the original one that you wanted, and with De Jesus and Cowan, I don't, if I'm remembering correctly, I think she lost her last fight, so
Mm.
um I mean it would probably be one of those cases where like your fight fell out and she wants to get back at, into winning.
Yeah,
I think you could definitely sell that fight to a lot of folks that are interested.
yeah.
The event that you were supposed to be on, that was the Invicta's first pay-per-view one.
I think so. I
Yeah.
believe so. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah,
So
I'm
that
pretty bummed, but it's okay. Things happen for a reason, you know?
yeah, no, it's better. I mean, obviously we need you healthy to, and ready to go.
Yeah.
Um instead of, trying to force things. And but that was their first run at pay-per-view. So it was kind of like a missed opportunity, but it was the first one, so that means there's going to be more, right?
Right. Right.
Yeah. So talking about like goals and looking ahead, I mean, you had tweeted also that you were looking at getting a going towards a 135-pound title. Is that I mean, because you normally fight at 125?
No, I fought at 35 and 25 before. A lot of my
Hmm.
amateur career, I actually did a little bit of 45 and then I shot down to 25. But then I just felt more comfortable like coming back into it, starting off at 35. So, I mean, yeah, that's where I'm at. And that's what I posted. Again, it's like knowing that you have the capabilities and abilities
Hmm.
to, I don't know if that made sense, but, to fight against the best. And
Hmm.
I mean, one of my goals is to hopefully hold a belt one day for sure. I mean, I've been doing it for so long. I've fought a lot of great talent. I've trained a lot of with a lot of great talent. So I mean, I don't know. It's just one of those things that I've always uh,
Hmm.
held close to my heart. But it's kind of time now to kind of like show everybody a little bit more. And this is my goals. This is where I want to get. I mean, I believe it. I just feel like it's just a matter of time. Just got to
Hmm.
keep working hard though. So yeah, I hope that answers your question.
Yeah, no, it did, and it's funny. You actually led me into my next one, talking about you've been doing this for so long. I mean, we were talking before I started recording about the difference between beautiful Hawaii and ugly New Jersey, where I'm at. So the mixed martial arts like culture has been existing a long time in Hawaii, right? Like, is
Yeah.
that why? Like how long ago? When did you realize you wanted to get into the sport?
Oh, okay. So it was when I saw Gina and Tanya fight at Elite XC down here in the Blaisdell.
Oh wow.
Um, cause okay, well, I started in Taekwondo though. Like I got my black belt. I started at 15. Got my black belt at about 18. I've been doing martial arts for a really long time.
Hmm.
But yeah, it was that fight that just kind of really sparked my interest uh into the world of MMA. I don't know. And then I saw Gina and Julie fight. That was a good fight. So I was just very much inspired by them. And uh, the rest kind of just came, you know, throughout the journey.
Yeah,
But
that
yeah, go ahead.
no, that's interesting. It's interesting you say that because every time, I mean, it's probably me just being stupid, but usually when you hear MMA in Hawaii, you start thinking about guys like me anyway, BJ Penn, Rumble on the Rock, stuff like that. So it's
I
it's
know.
just
Maybe I should have.
no, I mean, I think it just adds to your uniqueness that you mean
Mm,
Taekwondo was your where you started, and
yeah.
that's, I mean, a lot of people didn't have any option like me when I was growing up. I mean, grappling and jiu-jitsu and all that stuff wasn't even an option up until my late adulthood, like my late 20s.
Mhm.
So that's I mean, that it's the path, it led you into it, but it's nice to hear somebody coming from a traditional background like Taekwondo. I mean, I always kind of like that anyway when I'm watching fights. I just did a thing for MMA News a bit ago talking about that, but um so with Invicta, I mean, when you I know when you, as fighters, usually like to focus on the fight in front of them, and you just got out of dealing with the illness and stuff, and ready to get back. So when you look at your career long term, what's the like if you're putting goalposts for your career, what's the
Mhm.
first one you want to hit? You're in Invicta now, so what's the next one?
To become a champion in Invicta, whether it be at 35 or 25, one or the other. But that is the next goalpost.
Nice, nice. That's I mean, it's funny the fearless nickname. I mean, just talking to you for this short amount of time, I just can see your attitude and your demeanor. You're definitely focused and somebody that's ready to go. Where did somebody give you that nickname, or is that something you came up with on your own?
Actually, my old team that I was a part of, Jesus is Lord, with Rachel Osovich, them, Bob, my former coach, he came up with that name. Because before that, my amateur career, I was fierce,
Mm-hmm.
but somewhere along the line, he we talked about it, and then I actually like fearless better. So
Yeah, it's got a nice ring to it. I mean, I know you got it on your socials and stuff. In which, by the way, I know Jillian was like, "We got to build up your social following." So I already got this up ready to go for you, so folks know where to follow you.
cool, cool.
uh,
Appreciate it.
but one last question before I let you go.
Mhm.
So I mean, I know you just said at the beginning when we started talking, where do you that you're still coming out of, like, shaking off the little last bit of the COVID
Mhm.
fog or whatever they call it. So when do you expect to be, like, get a fight signed,
Quite
ready to go?
ready.
That Cowan one is one that I'd like to see.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like I could be ready for the next one. I've been back at training now and just getting better and better. So, I mean, whichever one Shannon decides to put us on, by all means, you know,
Cool. I mean,
it
it's
would
a
be a good fight. I mean, I honestly feel like it'd be, sorry, I don't know if I'm like on a specific time with you or whatever, but
no, no, you're fine.
I just feel like it'd be a really good, if people want to see fireworks, that would
Uh-huh.
be a good one, you know?
You and Cowan.
Yeah,
Yeah, me
yeah,
too. No, I definitely see that. I because she's somebody that comes forward a lot and aggressive and I mean, yeah, it's definitely, I could see like a fight of the night potential on
yeah.
that one. I
No,
actually like that one.
she actually has gotten better. Like, like
Yeah.
when you see your opponents, you want to watch and you want to analyze and assess. So she did make some tweaks into her game.
Hmm.
Like she doesn't necessarily come forward a lot. I've seen some things though. I mean, I'm not gonna like expose everything, but I've
Yeah.
started to like calculate and analyze because that's what I like to do. I mean, at the end of the day though, it's a fight, right? Anything can happen. I mean,
Hmm.
anything can happen. So it's just always having those adjustments, but always having like these specific things that you can look for to hopefully capitalize on.
Hmm.
Because I mean, the fighting game is a real chess match. It's like by inches. So sometimes if you're like at this distance or that distance, or if I take a slightly different angle, it can just change the outcome.
Hmm.
And what I want to bring to Invicta and women's MMA is, again, I think we've rise to a great level as it is, but even showing them that we too can be super like high level chess match. I'm not like dogging the females, but I feel like because men started like, in this
Yeah.
progression first, so to speak, they've kind of elevated to the high chess match. And I feel like we can do better at that as a
Hmm.
whole. I'm not like discrediting the athleticism. I think everybody's like phenomenal and what we put out there is phenomenal. But I don't know. I just feel like we'll we can do better as a whole, overall. But it's been exciting. It's been good.
Yeah, well, you're definitely in the right place for it. I mean, Invicta, I mean, it's all a female promotion, the first of anything. Like, I know they just started. I don't know if you saw yesterday. Medusa is like the all female combat jujitsu promotion, and
Oh, interesting.
yeah, Eddie Bravo started that. They had the first one yesterday. It came out of the blue.
Okay, okay, okay.
So, but Invicta's kind of like the spearhead of something like that, and I think I mean, if you look at most of the UFC roster of women, they're all coming
Hmm.
from Invicta.
Yeah, phenomenal,
Hmm.
phenomenal athletes. Yeah.
So I think that says something about where you're already at, and where you're definitely in the right place to do what you say you want to do. The It's funny you mentioned that the about watching, the potential fight and studying your potential opponent.
Hmm.
It's crazy because I watch fights the same way, and I always kind of look for something I always look for something from what I know about their background. So now that I know a little bit about your where your martial arts came from, I'll probably notice it in your next fight because you mentioning Haley Cowan and looking at her last fight, even when she was in trouble, because I know her
Mhm.
athleticism comes from being a gymnast, and
Mhm.
I
Mhm.
remember watching her in trouble when she tumbled backwards. Like you could see a lot of that muscle memory. It was just came
Right.
natural to her where she tumbles back to recover to in a fighting stance.
Right. Yeah.
So,
I mean,
yeah,
that's pretty cool.
yeah, it's amazing. So I mean, I just love seeing stuff like that, and it's nice to hear somebody that kind of has the same, you tap into when you're watching fights, you tap in the same way. So as one aging martial artist to a young up and coming martial artist, it's really
Right.
nice to it's nice to see that somebody else does that. But I mean that's all the questions I pretty much have, and I really do appreciate you talking. Again, the time difference, you're in Hawaii and I'm in New Jersey, so we had to do this on a Sunday. So I appreciate you spending some of your Sunday with me.
Yeah, not a
One,
problem.
if you want to shout out, I'm going to post your social stuff here on the bottom, but if you want to shout out any sponsors or anything like that, please go right ahead.
Well, I mean, first and foremost, always just grateful to my manager, Jason Adams, my my support system, which is always like my ohana. So, grateful for their support and my teammates. Couple of, I would say it's a brand ITSSA, if that didn't come out correctly. So ITSA is one of my sponsors. Um, Fit and Fresh Hawaii is my meal prep sponsor. Uh, I think other than that, just that, and just grateful for the opportunity to come on here with you. Anytime you want to like talk story or whatever, like let me know. I can talk for a long time. So like,
Oh
but
yeah, no, I
you
mean,
know,
I'm only allotted a certain amount of time because I'm going to add this to this
yeah,
week's
my
podcast. But
apologies.
no, that's fine. I
But yeah,
love it. I love it. It's the best. Definitely want to do this again. But
yeah,
and I draw and again, what's her IG? That's her IG and her Twitter. I know Jillian was trying to help you get your social numbers up, and I want to hopefully I can help do that too with this. So everybody, make sure you get on all that Twitter, Instagram, follow Fearless Monica Franco. I mean, I'm really excited to see your first fight back. I mean, you're on Invicta's on Axis and everything now, so
okay,
it's a great time. It's a great time. So
yeah.
thank you.
Thank you. Mahalo.
What's the proper response to that? As a
Um, Proper response to that would. It's a good question. I gotta ask my nephew. He speaks fluent Hawaiian, so I'll let you
Okay,
know.
all right,
It's a good
cool.
question. It's a good question.